You're listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste.
We've officially gotten to the point where we can say that thousands of people are listening to this podcast, which is amazing. But not all of you are following or subscribed to the show. So if you're listening and you're enjoying the chats that we have either with your favorite musicians, or if you're looking for new music to check out, please subscribe or follow the show. It helps out a lot. Today's guest, they've played shows in multi-million-dollar venues like Subway, 7-Eleven, Buc-ee's. I'm joined by Jackson from Silly Goose. Jackson, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Matt. I'm glad to be here.
You know, when I first saw you putting on shows outside of other people's concerts, I just thought, like, this is the most brilliant thing I've seen a band do in a very, very long time. How did that idea come to be?
Thank you. And it was kind of just like we started playing shows and stuff when we were in high school, and not a lot of people were coming out, not a lot was going on, and we just kind of had this idea, why don't we just like go to where the people are? Like, if we're not getting the opportunities we want or whatever, like, let's just go the shows that we think are cool and the shows that we'd like to be a part of. Let's just fucking play outside and like try and get straight to the fans that way. So that's kind of how it all came to be. And then we started like doing it just in Atlanta, where we're from. But then it got to a point where I felt like all the police in Atlanta knew who we were. So then we started like branching out and going to different states and following tours. And that's kind of how it all started out.
Go where the people are. It's really, it sounds like it's simple, but it's also not at the same time, to think of those creative ways to do it. So talk me through your rig, because your rig is also really impressive. Like, you've got this big touring rig, you pull up outside of concerts or in parking lots, and it's a full on generator, everything there. Like, that is crazy. Like, how did you guys build that? You pay someone to build that? Like, how did that come to be?
No. So it's been like my pickup truck, which we all have toured, and we finally got a van like the other week, and I am so excited, dude. We've been saving like all of our money, and we finally got this van. So now it's going to be a little bit better. We've got a van, but then we've got the trailer, and the trailer has like, we bought it and we cut a hole into the side of the wall, and then we put like a piece of wood up, and the piece of wood comes off, and then the whole side of the trailer is like open, and then we put the piece of wood on the roof for like a stage so I can stand up there too. And then we've got a generator and like a little drum riser in there. We definitely built it all ourselves. We do not have the money to hire anyone to build it, and it is not built that well, so you can tell that we did it. but that's kind of what it is. It's this little enclosed trailer, and we all cram in there, and we just we built it ourselves, not knowing what we're doing.
Were you all kind of handy, or like, take shop class in high school or something? Because I know I would never be able to personally do something like that.
Yeah. That's funny you say that, because I did take shop class in high school, and I always like was building like forts and stuff in my backyard when I was a kid, but I took shop class in high school, and I didn't really pay attention much in there or learn much. So I kind of took what I learned in that class and applied it to the trailer.
Have you had any issues with the trailer at shows? You show up in the parking lot and you fire up the generator and you're just like, oh no, like, this is not going to work.
Oh yeah, like frequently, because the trailer is it faces. I'm trying to figure out how to. It's like the side of the wall that comes off faces the sidewalk, or it's like the passenger side is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But the road, sometimes it's a one-way road going the wrong way, or like there's police outside the venue, or I'd say when we have in the past, when we followed these tours and stuff, like probably 2 out of every 3 nights we get to play. And then like there will be one out of every 3 nights, something goes wrong. So yeah.
And has there ever been, or do you kind of like show up to shows or parking lots and be like, shit, we can't do it because of the increased police presence or anything like that? Like, is there ever those times where you're like, maybe we shouldn't do this tonight? Like, we showed up and we're prepared, but maybe we shouldn't.
Every night there's like an anxiety, like, oh my God, what's going to happen tonight? Is this going to work? And like, there's that conversation, but we kind of just do it regardless of how many police there are or who's there. Because it's also out of necessity, because in order for us to get to the next place, we have to sell our shirts after we play, because like that's the only thing paying for the gas for us to be driving everywhere. So it's kind of like whether we want to do it or not, we gotta at least try. And it's led to some crazy situations and some fun stories for sure.
Has there ever been a story with a police officer where they've just kind of seen what you were doing and they're just like, screw it, let them play their set?
Oh yeah. There's definitely been some officers who are cool and who are chill, and there's been some ones who are not, and who are on power trips, and everything in between. So you never know like who you're gonna be dealing with.
Is there any like one time that really, or one interaction that sticks out with you?
Probably we played outside of City Morgue in Miami. It was in Miami, and this cop was like he was really angry. And I don't know why he was the level of angry he was, but it was like, yeah, it was intense. There's not much more to it than that. It was just like the typical like trying to like intimidate you, and like it was just and like because they had us all sit on the sidewalk and like patted us down for like weapons, like we had weapons, and then they wanted to like search the truck, and it was like, dude, we were just playing music on a trailer. Like, why is this happening?
You think we're like stocked up with AK-47s or something?
Yeah,
like, we're playing guitar.
Yeah, like we're not here to hurt anybody. Like, and it's like the guy knows that too. He just wanted to be an asshole. But sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here, but
yeah, you're allowed to say whatever you want.
Cool. Well, there was that interaction, and then one other one. It wasn't with the police, but we played outside of this venue in like Pennsylvania, or I think it was Pennsylvania. And the security guard, we were on public property, by the way. We were not on the venue's property, but the security guard like punched me in the face. And then after that,
I saw that video.
Yeah. After that, their attitude changed up, because they like knew they had like done something wrong. And then they were like faking like they called the cops and we needed to leave. But we all knew the cops weren't on the way. And we were like, no, it's okay. We'll stay and wait for the cop. So those two interactions were stick out to me the most.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Why did he come and just sock you one? Was there like something that happened before that? Was he just like, I hate new metal?
We finished playing, and they were like already really angry while we were playing, and then we started selling t-shirts, and they didn't like that we were selling t-shirts outside the venue. So he tried to like grab Alan's my drummer. Alan's the drummer of the band, and he tried to grab Alan's arm, and like I like went like this in between, like where to stop him from grabbing Alan. And then he used like me brushing up against his skin as an excuse, like, oh, okay, he touched me first, I can punch him. So that's what happened. But yeah.
I'm actually like a little surprised that it's only really been one interaction that's kind of gotten out of hand like that, just because, you know, people take themselves way too seriously, especially when you're doing things like this, even when it's just, you know, meant to be all in fun. And, you know, you're showing up outside of other people's concerts and playing a show. And I don't know, like that's awesome, because I don't know about you, but the only concerts I've gotten after a concert have been some, you know, old guy playing Led Zeppelin on a guitar, on an acoustic guitar outside for tips, you know? Like that. Right. That's the most that I've seen. You walk outside of like a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert, or there's some guy playing Led Zeppelin. hoping for some tips. So coming out of a concert and going to see you guys like that would be cool. Like I want you guys to come through and do that. You guys are coming through Toronto for like a real opening show, which we'll talk a little bit more about that tour coming up. Won't be able to see you in the trailer. Are you going to be doing any of those on the side afterwards?
We're definitely going to be doing some more of those this year. That is not over. It's going to be more of like a thing when it happens, and like if you see it, like we're not going to tell anyone we're going to be there. It's just you'll just maybe hear about it on social media later. So those are becoming like more like fewer and far between, but they're not done by any means. We're still gonna play outside of some shows this year. But yeah, the focus this year, and you kind of mentioned that tour. We've got that coming up with Dead Poet Society, and then we've got a tour with 408, and the trailer will still be there. We just won't be playing inside of it.
Has there been interaction by any of the bands that you've been following? Like, have they been like, hey, dude, like you're following us on every stop of this tour? Like, why don't you just come in and check out our show? And then, like, has there ever been any interactions like that with any of the bands that you've been following?
We played outside of Highly Suspect for like a month. And after like the first night, like Johnny Stevens, the singer, messaged us, and he approved. He was like, dude, I love this. This is awesome. And then and that's also weight off like our back, because we don't know like how the band, like we obviously don't mean any ill intent or anything. And the whole reason we play after the show is because we want, like, when we sell our shirts, everyone to have already spent their money inside, and like we're not trying to take money out of the band's pocket. We're like trying to be very careful to like not disrespect the band that's playing inside. But yeah, that Highly Suspect approved of it, and we got to open for them a few shows, and they brought us inside. They were super cool. Bad Flower was cool. We played outside their shows, and the guitarist came out and was jamming with us. And then we played outside Spirit Box, and they didn't really acknowledge it. If I'm being honest, I don't think Spirit Box was vibing with it. But I don't know. It could all be in my head, because I don't know. Maybe they just had like a busy schedule. We did have like one member of the touring party of one of the other bands was like, hey, please don't play here because our bus drivers are trying to sleep at this time. And so I don't think the Spirit Box tour was very thrilled by our presence. And so that's why we didn't really like finish that tour. So like, well, if they don't really like us being here, we're not trying to piss anybody off. So, but 9 times out of 10, it goes over smoothly.
You see what you guys are doing, and it, like I said, it's so original, it's so unique, and it's a fantastic way of almost like guerrilla marketing and marketing yourself. And I feel like as a band, in order to stand out, you need to do something in order like that is original in order to stand out. And this is something that nobody else is doing. Like, this has been your thing and your way of getting new fans, and now you're growing those fans and going on tour and getting a lot bigger. One day you won't be able to do that because parking lots will get way too rammed, and you'll really have a problem with the police.
Thank you.
But how did the subway thing start?
Dude, we were on the road. Like, I think it was when we were following Highly Suspect, actually. We were in Seattle or somewhere around there, like in that region. It may have been like around Portland or something, but we were doing our like, we were washing our clothes at the laundromat next door. And then like we went in there for a sandwich, and it was just like 2 teenagers working there. And we were like, hey, can we do this? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then I posted that video, and I had no idea. I posted it like before I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and I don't remember what it was at, but I was like, whoa, this has never happened before. This is crazy.
Was that your first ever viral video?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I should know the answer to that. Definitely, like, it was our first viral video to that scale. Like, maybe we had gotten like a couple 100,000 views on something. Yeah, but I think, that one's at like 5 million. So that was the first one that got like big.
that broke that like million mark.
Right, for sure.
Did you know the guy that was ordering in there, or was that a total real customer?
Yeah, that was a real customer who came in, and like he came in right in the middle of us like setting up, and we were like, hey, like you're perfect for this. Like this is what we're trying to do. Will you please be a part of this? He didn't seem too. I mean, like the way he is in the video is kind of the way he was in real life. Like he told us then he was like, yeah, I listen to tons of metal music. Like you guys are awesome, but he was very like quiet kind of or introverted it seemed. But we bribed him. We were like, we'll pay the $12 for your sandwich if you do this. And then we bought his meal and that was and then he was down to do it.
Little did he know he was forever going to go down in history with that video.
Yeah. And what I was going to say, and I forgot about this, that's the sandwich he like ate. Like that was the actual sandwich he ordered in the video. That was actually him ordering it. Cause we were like, no, you just do your thing. Like we're just going to do this while you're ordering. So, yeah, that was the actual sandwich, I guess.
I love that he gave you like the perfect reaction and he did it all for $12.
Yeah, dude, it was sick.
Do you guys have any marketing background? Like, is there a marketing background behind this tactic, or was it just kind of something like, hey, let's just have some fun doing these things with, Subway and with the touring with the trailer? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't have any marketing background, but I do feel like I'm kind of savvy as to like what might go viral or like what people want to see. So I knew like when we do these things that like it wasn't just for fun. It was like, okay, if we do this, that if we want to go viral, this is what we'll do it.
Yeah, so you kind of had a general idea of, I guess, like consuming your own content that you like as well and being like, oh, hey, yeah, like this actually has a potential of doing something for us, it's great to sort of have that eye for things. I'm curious, though, because we were going back to the touring and following other bands, which post-concert crowd is the wildest?
Well, anything on like, I mean, everything when we were on the West Coast was really cool. It's like different there than on the East Coast. So that was really cool. But like in terms of like band, I don't know. I think the Spirit Box crowd was pretty crazy. The Highly Suspect crowd was like probably the craziest, not because like the music sounds similar, because it really doesn't. We sound very different than them, but it was the craziest because they were like 100% like down with what we were doing. So every night before we'd play, like they would like announce it in the venue, like on stage. So then everyone was like hyped up about it when they came outside. So that helped. And that helped like with our numbers and like more people staying and watching. So even though it was like a different type of music or we're a little bit heavier, I'd say the Highly Suspect crowd, because Highly Suspect like vouched for it so hard.
That's amazing to have another band do that. It almost like you forced yourself to be the opener, but it's like the post-concert band doing that, right?
Right.
Especially when you have the main band shouting you out the same way they would their openers. It's like, all right, well, like, thanks to our openers. And then after the show, there's this band that's been following us and they're great. Go and check them out. And you have the mix of people, you have either the one group of people that are like, nah, fuck that, I'm tired, I'm going home. And then the other people that are like, we're not done having fun, let's go check out this band.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of like every show you play outside of, you do have to accept like, okay, half the people are going to walk by and you can't take it personally. People just want to go home and go to sleep and they have no idea what's happening. But whoever will listen, we're down to play for, whether it's like the whole venue or if it's 5 people, we're going.
And now you're really, really busy this year. We touched on it already. You're going on an official tour. You've got that tour with 408 later this month. Plus, you're also playing a bunch of festivals as well, like Furnace Fest, Louder Than Life Fest. What are you most looking forward to this year?
I mean, I'm looking forward to everything. I really am. And I'm not just saying that. Like, after us playing in the street for so long, getting to go and do shows in venues is like so cool. So ready to do that. I'm most looking forward to the tour with Dead Poet Society. because I grew up like listening to them in high school. Um, and I just think they're awesome. And then they were on that Highly Suspect tour too. So that's how they know us, and that's how we got this tour. But all those guys are really nice, awesome dudes, amazing music, and it's a cool full circle moment for me. I'm also really looking forward to Aftershock because I've been wanting to play that, and this is the first year we're going to get to play Aftershock. So all the Danny Wimmer festivals that we're doing, I think it's that one and Louder Than Life, and then after you mentioned Furnace Fest, but it's So What Fest in Texas. We did Furnace Fest last year, but they're both Mike Zeno festivals. No, you're good. You're good. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that one too. And the tour with 408. And we've got some more stuff coming up too.
That must be so exciting to go from, touring with a trailer to playing big festivals with bands that you grew up listening to, like feeling like it was so quick. I'm sure, you've been working your whole lives for this, but, to kind of have that, how does that feel to be playing these big festivals with some of your favorite bands?
It feels amazing. It feels like the best feeling in the world, especially the first time when we played Louder Than Life. It was like, whoa, like we were outside in the street and now there's like thousands of people in here. And like Louder Than Life, both years we've played it, is like the biggest show we've ever played. Cause we'll go out and I don't want to give out, or we'll go out and like, we'll pass out flyers to everyone who's going in. Like if we play on Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the morning, like for like until like 4 p.m, we're passing out flyers to every single person who goes inside the venue and telling them like, hey, we're playing this stage at this time, pull up. So that's how there's like thousands of people at our stage, and it's so sick. And it's one of the coolest experiences.
See, so that's another part of the like smart marketing behind you guys. Like you guys just know how to make that connection with people and to get people to show up and to care about you. And you're basically forcing people to care about you. And I love that. What has been the biggest thing that, that you've seen, I guess, kind of convert as an artist for your numbers and for your fans? Has it been going before these festivals and shows and being like, hey, come and check us out? Has it been touring on a trailer? Has it been opening for bands? Like, what has been the biggest thing that you felt really has helped you as a band?
That's a good question. I'd say, honestly, it's probably a combination of like an equal combination of all those things. There's so many people who saw us like play outside in the street who like will comment that on our videos or tell us in person. And then there's also still a lot of people who like saw the Subway video or they saw the Buc-ee's video. But I think going into this year and into the future, I think what's going to be helping us the most is like these cities that we get to open up for Dead Poet in, or we get to open up for other artists. I mean, cause I saw like we opened up for Highly Suspect in St. Louis, and then we came back to St. Louis on our headline, like on our own headline tour. And, like that, a ton of people came out in St. Louis because they had seen us at that show. So I think it's a pretty equal split, but I'm looking forward to this year, like being able to like really, I guess, more legit and like, people finding out about us that way. And cause it's a better experience it's cool, like seeing us outside in the street, but when you get to like hear it, it sounds much better in a venue. It does not sound very good out in the street. That's strictly just for like the like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? But I'm really excited for people to hear us in a venue more this year and like hear the full sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And also probably get you inside from the elements.
Yeah.
Have the elements ever really messed with you? Like, has that come often? I don't know what it's like in Atlanta. I know that if you were doing something like that, I'm Canadian. So if you were trying to do something like that in Canada, like chances are you'd have a lot of shows that would get canceled because of snow or rain or something like that, right? Like we get hit hard by the elements.
We played in Wisconsin, in the winter in February, and we played outside in a snowstorm. So there's definitely some elements, but rain or shine, as long as our equipment isn't going to get destroyed, we're doing it. But yeah, the blizzard was pretty crazy.
I'm just like wondering more so the blizzard, like, are people showing up to, standing outside in the blizzard to be watching you guys, that's amazing.
There's definitely people who just like walk to their car and go home. But I think the worse the weather is outside, honestly, sometimes the more it helps, because it's more of like whoa, these guys are like committed. And then they want to stop. Because a lot of people stopped when we were like playing outside in the snow.
Yeah, and then when they're moshing in the snow and they fall over, the snow kind of breaks their fall a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may help with the fall, but it breaks their fall too. One thing that I like to ask every single person that comes on the show here is, especially as an up and coming artist yourself, working so hard to get people to pay attention to you and listen to your music and get it out there. We like to spread the love and share some of that. So I like to ask everyone to share some of their favorite up and coming bands. If you have any up and coming bands or friends in bands that you're touring with, or anybody that you basically want to shout out that you think deserves a little bit of love right now, feel free to give them a shout out.
Yeah, I've got a ton, so I'll try and keep it brief. But in terms of like our genre, and there's Unity, Texas. They're a bit bigger than we are. But I think they rip. They're like bringing back the new metal sound. And then like local bands from Atlanta, who we like grew up playing with. There's this band Frigga 5. It's my friend Caleb. There's this band Actus Reus. They play like all of our Atlanta shows with us. They rip. They're like metalcore. And there's just a ton of like really cool artists from Atlanta and a really cool scene. So I could give you like a whole list, but those are the first that come to mind.
I absolutely love that. I know at first I tried doing like a one artist type thing, and everyone was like, can I just like rattle off a bunch of them? Like, yeah, let's just rattle off and just give everyone shout outs. It's totally cool. Nobody wants to just name one person. Well, Jackson, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciated this chat. It has been so much fun. It's so exciting to see what you guys have been doing, what you guys have coming up. Is there anything that we didn't mention that you want to talk about or mention before we go?
Yeah. By the way, thank you so much for having me, Matt. And I do want to say one thing before I go. We've got a new song that just came out. It's called Live It Up. Before that, we've got a song called King of the Hill, and it's all leading up to this new EP that's going to come out sometime this summer. So there's more singles on the way. There's new music. So to anyone watching this who's just discovering us, please go listen to the music. If you like Limp Bizkit, if you like Rage Against the Machine and new metal, it will be right up your alley. And there's new music, new EP on the way, and then even more after that. And thank you so much for having me, Matt.
I could definitely vouch for that. If you love all of those bands that he mentioned, Jackson and Silly Goose are that band to go and check out. Actually, I'm sorry. I know we're kind of wrapping this up, but one more question, which I had on my notes here, which I do want to know as well. Where did the name Silly Goose come from? I can't let you go without talking about this.
I wish I had like a good answer for that, because I get asked that a lot, but it just kind of seemed funny, and like you remember it, so we just went with it, and it kind of like says like we're just here to have fun, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. So that's kind of like the whole like reasoning behind it.
I love it. I love the name. I just wanted to know why, and I couldn't let you go before asking that. So thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much, Matt.
Before we wrap up this episode, I do want to give a few important shout outs on this show. The Record Process with Casey Cavalier of the Wonder Years. Casey's been amazing to me. He's helped me out quite a bit behind the scenes, and he has a wonderful podcast himself where he talks to all of your favorite bands about the process behind their most popular album. Also, Stereotherapy. They had me on as a guest recently. Go check them out. They're two lovely ladies that talk about mental health and music. It was a ton of fun doing their show. And I also host another podcast with my friend TJ called The Top 8, where we take different fun topics like albums turning 20 or favorite new metal artists and rank them from 1 through 8. Have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you so much for listening to another episode of Our Space with Matt Vatisse.
Thank you for listening to Our Space with Matt Batiste. If you enjoyed yourself, please support the show by subscribing and leaving a review. Review.